How's it going, everybody? We are here with another episode of Stock versus Not, and we are in the last new Viper you can get from the brand Central in Gran Turismo 7, which is the 5th gen Viper, which is the Viper GTS, and this is the 2013, which I believe is the first model year for this car. It is absolutely nuts to see a stock car make these figures. Let's hop into the car settings and see what we got. It has 598 performance points, 640 horsepower, 600 foot-pounds of torque. That's weird. This looks like Gran Turismo doesn't have their displacement numbers for this car. Anyways, 3,400 pounds, and it is rocking a 50-50 weight distribution. It is perfectly balanced, as things should be. One thing I did find concerning with this car, and I'm looking at it now, if we take a look at the alignment specs, this thing has absolutely no roll bar settings at all, or it's set to full soft as the game would allow you to, and absolutely no... It looks like it's set up for like a grand touring type of deal. It doesn't look like it's track oriented at all, to be honest with you guys. So we'll see how this one handles. Very interesting. It is a 590 performance point car, so it is going to be on the top end of 600 performance point board. I do not know if it's going to be able to beat out these other guys here. The SRT10 Coupe made less horsepower, and that was a 58.038, but I just don't know with how the suspension is set up on this. I don't know if it has it in it, but we shall find out here at Suzuka. We have a very cool interior. Definitely it's the 2010s, so a lot more tech in this car for sure. And the big old Viper hood in the front. Let's see what this car has in it. Did they ruin the Viper for this generation? Is it not as sports oriented as its previous ones? That is the question. Turn 1 didn't feel too bad. Not bad at all. We actually might be okay. I was nervous, but it seems fairly composed for the most part. So I think we'll be alright here. This is the first year I would say when the Viper kind of lost its known Viper front end, and they kind of did a full redesign of it. Definitely would say it's Viper inspired, but it doesn't quite have the, I would say the headlights is what kind of threw me off for this year. They weren't as like that rectangular oval, you know what I'm talking about. They definitely kind of triangulated things. The back end of this car is my favorite though. Almost kind of looks like a Maserati Gran Turismo rear end, which I guess if you're talking FCA, I think Maserati is part of that group. Maybe they took some styling cues from that car to throw onto this Viper. But nonetheless, it's a good looking car. You can definitely still tell it's a Viper, but is it truly a Viper now with all its technology and nannies? That is the question. Opening lap was a 57.717, so that's a very good lap for a stock car. I don't even remember what the leaders were for this group, but this car is actually very easy to drive, surprisingly, even with the suspension being so soft. Let's see what we can do on this last lap, and then we'll hop into a fully modified one. There we go. Oh, totally butchered that again. I always tend to do that. Even in like my autocross runs, last lap I'm always like, let's see how far we can go, and I feel like that's something that I need to stop doing. You should be feeling things out on that first run, and then slowly just cleaning things up after that. You shouldn't be testing the waters once everything's all said and done. Coming around this last turn here. Not sure if we're going to get anything better with that first turn being jacked up, but that's fine. 57.717. I can live with that first lap. It's only the stock car, nothing crazy. Let's see where that puts it on the leaderboard. .717, I believe is what it was. It actually is right behind the SRT Hellcat. Look at that. Beat out the GTR, the 2017 model. So, very interesting to see. Let's go ahead and swap up cars and see what we got going on here. We are now in a baby blue Viper, but it's making 1700 horsepower. This is the first Viper or Dodge product we have with an engine swap, rocking that Chiron engine. Chiron? It's the Bugatti engine. So that is 856 performance points, 1796 horsepower, 1400 foot-pounds of torque, 2700 pounds, 2800 pounds really. It's still 50-50. We have some alignment settings here, active LSD controller, front and rear aero setup, no ballast needed. The car is 50-50 and it stayed 50-50 with the engine swap. Here, no engine upgrades, just all the weight reduction possible, and that's about it. So this is gonna be up there actually in the 900 performance point. I think this is the first Dodge product up in the 900 performance point category. So it's going to be gunning for the GTRs here. Are we finally going to dethrone one of these? That is the question. The real question is it really going to dethrone a Nissan? I think that one had a Chiron engine in it as well too. So yeah, 1796. So I believe it's all the same engine. So let's see, is all-wheel drive going to be better than the front engine rear-wheel drive, or is the GTR still going to stay up there? Yep, rear-wheel drive, buddies. All right, we're gonna be asking that active LSD controller to really help us out today. Oh, I didn't even notice that when you hit the red line, the Viper shows up in the middle of the dash. Let's break 17 zip codes away from the markers because we are hitting that 200-mile-an-hour mark on this short straightaway. It is a fairly quick vehicle. This is the fastest. Oh yeah, we are in for a treat today, viewers. All right. $1,700 horsepower. I was spoiled only driving those 900 horsepower Dodges. Now we have some real numbers under the hood. Even with the lap all jacked up, we still are probably going to make it just barely under a minute, or barely at a minute. All right, let's go. Let's see what we got. Brake out here. Gonna have to baby that throttle, make sure we do not get that power oversteer. Gonna brake. Go ahead and navigate this. This car does handle very nicely, very well balanced. Doesn't have that understeer that the other Viper we just did has, which is good. It's definitely a lot more manageable. .856. Still have to be very careful coming out of that last turn. Short shifting is the only way to really get this thing going. I could have possibly maybe lengthened those gears on the transmission to get them a little bit longer. Probably could have I hate to say, could have probably bogged it down a bit to kind of make that low end torque a lot more manageable. But once that turbo kicks in, it's spooling and it's hitting hard. Just roll into the throttle there. 48.8083. Yeah, you just have to be very patient on the brakes on that first turn. Just keep braking until you feel like the car is going to be able to navigate that first. There it is, that power oversteer. This thing is absolutely insane. Well, yep, this is why we do about 5 to 6 laps in the fully modified car, because this thing is, it's not quite a handful. I think it's just that LSD we'll just need a little bit more tweaking to keep it from killing you when you want to go straight. Alright. 5th lap. Let's see what this thing has in it. Oh, come on, stop. There we go. Keep in 3rd. Gradually ask for the car to go faster. Brake. And just let it roll through the S's here of Suzuka. Last turn here. Totally forgot to slow it down, but I think we made it happen. Let's go through here. We definitely cut that nicely. Probably would have track limit penalty on any other occasion. Oh gosh. Okay. 48.083. Optimal would have 47.581. But yeah, that's what we got going on here. Let's see where this puts it on the leaderboard. Is it gonna be top anything? Look at that. It is number 3 on the overall, just barely behind those Nissans. Yeah, that Nismo, that all-wheel drive one, obviously that all-wheel drive a lot more easier to control through the S's and all that. So that's an absolute nutty car. 48.083, number 3 on the 900 performance point leaderboard, and it is now, how many Dodges do we have on the top 10? We have 1, 2, 3 Dodge products on the top 3 on top 10 leaderboard of our stock versus not database here. We have one more on the Brand Central, and then we'll move on to our next one. So other than that, I will catch you guys in the next one.